Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing today? We are in Hilton Head, South Carolina. We've come up from Jacksonville. We were in St. Simon or St. Simone. I'm not sure how you say it. Georgia yesterday. We had lunch. And then we went on into Savannah and slept at a really nice, quiet Walmart there. What I want to talk to you about today is, and Lily is right there. Say hi, Lily. Say hi, Lily. She's not feeling very well today, really. I'm not sure what's going on with her, but anyway, I wanted to talk to you about traveling with a dog over, I fix this phone, over 40 pounds. And because I've reached a level of frustration. Now, when I'm boondocking in Arizona or Montana or Washington or Idaho or Utah, Nevada, all those places, there's plenty of room for her to run and enjoy herself and have a good time and be off leash. But you know what? You go to the East Coast, first of all, you do hunt, camping, places to sleep. You do also fight a lot of people. There are a lot of people. So we were in St. Simone yesterday. I wanted to go to the lighthouse there and see that community. Very pretty, quaint community, by the way, in Georgia. And there was a park next to the lighthouse. So I was able to walk Lily around. There were a couple of outdoor cafes. We were able to go have lunch at the cafe. And she was able to lay right by the table. And I got a place where we weren't in through traffic in the outside of the cafe. But here's the thing. There was a beautiful pier there. And as I approached the pier, sure enough, no dogs allowed, right? And then yesterday, after we were done there, we traveled north to Savannah. And I really wanted to get out and look at the homes and the architecture. And, you know, Savannah is such an old, quaint town, right? You know what? There were people everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And I knew that Lily would get exceptionally stressed. And, you know, being a 60-pound dog, she's a road dog. She's been on the road with me starting year 4. She is 4. So this has been her whole life. She knows how to act in public or how not to act up in public. And to not engage with other people or strangers or jump on them or anything like that. She's a really road savvy dog. But at the same time, she does get stressed, and I get stressed. Quite honestly, I can't relax because I know that people have issue with pit bull looking dogs. They have issues with this or that, or they're allergic, or so. And you can't go into any of the shops. That was the other thing. I saw a couple of shops that I was walking around in there in St. Simone, and I wanted to walk around in you can't go in the shops. You can't. You can't. You can't. So in Savannah, I was able to drive around. I went into the cemetery, the Bonaventure Cemetery, and sure enough, no dogs. I wanted to get out, walk around, look at a lot of the old headstones, the architecture of those headstones back in the day, you know, the 1800s, 1700s is amazing. So the best I could do was drive down the main streets of Savannah and look at the houses from the van. I went to Planet Fitness, which it was not a very clean Planet Fitness for Savannah being kind of an upscale town, but there was good shade. So it was not, it really isn't conducive to a 60-pound dog. I know a lot of people that want to do van life or are doing van life who have bigger dogs. We do that sacrifice, right? We can't go into state parks. As a matter of fact, when I was in Cook City last year, which is outside of Yellowstone, when it got to be 105 in Missoula, Montana, I went up in elevation, and Cook City is the highest elevation in Montana, 10,000 feet. So I headed up to Cook City, and Even going into, I have a senior pass to go in and out of the park, and I used to drive through the park to go to Gardner to buy my groceries because I hung out for the whole month of July for the heat up there in Cook City. So I drive through Yellowstone Park to Gardner to do my marketing, and every time at the gate as I'm checking in and just showing my pass, the lady says to me, "Don't let that dog out of the van." I mean, they considered not allowing her in, period, because I passed through several times. And I just said, no, I don't. I'm only on pavement. There's a couple of places where you can get out and walk with your dog, but you cannot let your dog out on leash. Any of the state parks, they all have. I started to a park yesterday on Amelia Island, and I got to the gate, and the sign said, no dogs allowed. I wanted to go park on the beach, and I wanted to enjoy the ocean. I wanted Lily to enjoy the ocean, and I couldn't. I turned around. I wasn't, they would stop me anyway. You know, like, that dog can't come in here. So state parks, all these places. And if you go to a campground and you think, oh, well, you know, I'll leave my dog while I go adventuring. All the campgrounds have, do not leave your dog unattended. And they mean it. They're dead serious. And if your dog starts barking and carrying on in your rig, let's say you have a camper, and you get in your truck and you drive into the park, but your dog is back at your camper, whether the air conditioner's on or not. If that dog starts barking, it's an unattended dog. They will ask you to leave. So, you know, what I guess I'm getting to is I am just going to do things that Lily can also do with me. We're on our way right now to a beach in Hilton Head, South Carolina, that is a dog beach. She loves the ocean. She loves the rivers. Of course, it's really hard with the rivers, you know, on this southern edge of the country because of the alligators. Great gator bait dogs. So even in North Carolina, when I was at a campground last year, the lady said, "Don't let your dog go to the water's edge." So, you know, yeah. A lot of campgrounds allow dogs. They just don't allow you to leave your dog unattended for any reason. And yet they also say you can't take your dog into a shower if you're taking a shower. So if you're a solo female like I am, then you're in this dilemma like, well, I can break that rule and go and shower with my dog anyway, because people take their dogs in and bathe them, and you're not supposed to do that. That is a no-no. Do not take your dog into a public shower and bathe your dog. Just don't do that. But, you know, leaving Lily in the van, if she's in shade and I'm only going to be gone, you know, maybe 30 minutes, I think I can get away with that. But they're getting more and more strict because they know boomers are traveling around with their pets, and you know, it is what it is. Now, I saw plenty of people yesterday down in St. Simone, and they were, you know, had their little 10, 15-pound dogs, and they were picking them up and walking into stores. Well, you know, that's great. But I have a 60-pound dog. So if you're considering van life, or you're planning van life, and you think you're going to do all these adventures with your 40-pound dog, it's not going to happen. You have to consider all the places you're not allowed to go. And you can look at the state parks and you can look at the national parks and you can see what they say about pets. They're not allowed in there. Some of them, you can't even drive into the national park with a pet, period. So just keep that in mind. I was a bit disappointed. I mean, at least I could drive around Savannah. I love this region of, I love the East Coast. I'm kind of like thinking about changing my plans and going all the way to Nova Scotia. I don't know. You know, here's the thing about being retired. I can change my mind. I was going to go to, you know, maybe head to Colorado or, you know, back to Montana again. And I thought, you know, why not? I mean, you have hurricane season here, so those are things that you have to consider is weather. I'm not going to be south, but there's a storm heading this way now. I'm on my way to Wilmington to see an uncle there. I looked at camping just for camping, and my batteries are getting low. And yeah, campgrounds are all full. We're in April. It's springtime. So therein lies the other thing. So the 60-pound dog, but also power. I have my 1,000-watt Jackery running off of my my plug up here, my cigarette lighter, but the max watts that it puts out is 64 watts into that Jackery, and the Jackery runs my 64 quart Iceco. So here's the thing, it's warm. So my fridge is running constantly. It's warm in this van. So my fridge is running constantly. And when it's running constantly, even though, or although I have it turned up to 60, I have it turned up to about 38 degrees for coolness. I use both sides as a fridge, because if you use one side as a freezer and it gets warm, you are going to blow through power. And I have no solar on my roof. I'm considering that only so that I could charge better when I'm driving, more than 61 watts, and probably plug in more than one battery, because I have two other batteries. But I also use those for, like, I have my camera. Why are you doing that? I have my camera. I have my Garmin.
Say a command.
Not now. So I have my items that I use when I'm driving, and they run off of a Jackery I keep by the seat, because there's only so many plugs. I don't have a super fancy ProMaster. I have a ProMaster that is your base model. I didn't want a lot of gadgets. I don't even have cruise control. Anyway, I digress. So, you know, there you are. I spent the night at a Walmart in Savannah. It was really nice Walmart. It was very quiet. It was off the beaten path. It was a Walmart market. It wasn't a full, big, giant Walmart store. And Lily and I were comfortable. There were a few car dwellers and van lifers that stopped for the night. Not a lot. But I also, you know, went down into Tybee Island. I wanted to see a lighthouse there, but you couldn't park anywhere without paying. Nowhere. I mean, you couldn't even go into the Circle K that you didn't pay for being on their street on Tybee Island. And they, again, when I went down into where the lighthouse is, there were so many people. You were hunting parking. I thought, why, my God, this isn't June. Where are all these people coming from? You know, but hey, the East Coast is highly populated compared to finding places on the West Coast. So this is where it is. If you're gonna travel with a dog, these are going to be your challenges. And so I think what I'm going to do is just work on places and things I can do with her. There are a lot of hiking trails you can't even take her on, that I can't take her on. So, yeah. You know, I could leave the East Coast, right? Start heading west, and it's going to open up when you get west of the Mississippi. There's a lot more available, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling like it'd be kind of fun to stay on the East Coast. So I'm just going to have to deal with it the way it is and look for, you know, Google places and things to do with my dog when I hit an area, and the things that I want to do, I can look up to see what's available. But if dogs aren't allowed, or, you know, it's a too stressful of an environment for her, then I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to leave her locked in the van so that I can go do whatever I want, because when I come back, she's very stressed. And quite honestly, I don't think that that's fair either. So, yeah, I'm still starting my 4th year, still trying to find that balance, right? She's been with me the whole time. I'm still trying to find the balance. Anyway, I don't know if I said it. I'm at a Walmart here in Hilton Head, South Carolina, and I think I'm going to head to the beach. I'm going to fix myself some lunch in the van. I got a nice shady spot, and I think I'm going to fix my lunch. Thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, thumbs up, please, and subscribe if you like, and follow along with me as I try and unpack, how we're going to cope with the East Coast and all of its regulations and lack of land and hordes of people. I'm used to the West Coast. Anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great day. Thank you.